It's that time of year again, guys. Rumble season is upon us. The AWF Wildcard Rumble, Saturday, May the 27th at the Phoenix Beer Company in Phoenix, Arizona. All your favorite AWF stars and the traditional annual 20-person over-the-top rope Wildcard Rumble match. Get your tickets at awflive.com and all of our socials. This one's bound to be another sellout. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gabriel Anders, and you are joining us here on the AWF Insider Podcast. We have 3 great interviews for you here today because it's Rumble season. So the Wildcard Rumble is taking place Saturday, May the 27th at the Phoenix Beer Company in Phoenix, Arizona. So you'll want to make sure you're getting your tickets. Front row is already sold out, so you want to pick up some of these GA 4-packs, some of these GA tickets, and make sure that you're not left in the wind. You're not left in the dust. We have 3 great interviews. We're going to be talking to Aydan Colt, former first ever AWF Wildcard Rumble winner, Aydan Colt, as well as former AWF Tag Team Champion Austin Cole, and newcomer and rising star Dolan Shaw. So we have those on the docket here today. I just want to remind you, you can get all of your ticket info and the pit stop that we're having here this weekend. AWF Showcase, May 13th at the new AWF Arena. Ticket info available at awflive.com. Follow our socials on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everything. Instagram, all of it. It's all there on awflive.com, ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com, and the AWF shop is now live. So if you've ever seen some merchandise at prior AWF Live events, or folks walking around with merchandise and you're not sure where to get it, head over to awflive.com. That's your hookup. That section's going to be growing, and we'll be able to get you some fresh new AWF merchandise right from the website, right when you want it. So no more waiting a month to see the event live. We're bringing that to you whenever you want it. So without further ado, we're going to get right into the interviews. We're going to start off with former AWF Tag Team Champion, former AWF Unleashed Champion, and the first ever Wildcard Rumble winner, Aydan Colt. So I got a chance to sit down with him, and here's how it went. Take a listen. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here on the AWF Insider Podcast with one of the longest running, most longevity here in the AWF locker room, AWF star, and might I add, former 2-time AWF Tag Team Champion, former AWF Unleashed Champion, and the winner of the very first ever Arizona Wrestling Federation Wildcard Rumble back in February of 2014. The man himself, Aydan Colt. Aydan, how are you doing today, sir?
Oh, my brother. I am doing wonderful. You know, I was trying to count the seconds it took for you to get through that introduction, because it was just so glorious. You just naming every single accolade that I have knocked off in AWF. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. Hopefully I did it justice. Hopefully I wanted to make sure I was doing did it do justice for you?
You know what? To the extent of what I've done and what I've been able to accomplish, it did do a good amount of justice. So you got this one. You got this one.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. And hopefully the whole thing will do justice for you. So let's cut right in, right? So not many people, you're on a short list right off the bat, because it's Rumble season. So we're going to talk a little Wildcard Rumble with you. We got that coming up May the 27th, Phoenix Beer Company, Phoenix, Arizona. Tickets at awflive.com. It's Rumble season. So you're on not only the short list of folks who have won the AWF Wildcard Rumble, which is a feat in its own. You also got a match that night. You were entered into the first ever also Gold Rush tournament by winning the Wildcard Rumble. You're on an even shorter microscopic list. In fact, I believe it's a list of 2. It might be a list of you, and if I'm not mistaken, I have to fact check myself, Sefa Fatu, of the only AWF stars to ever debut in a Rumble. So like make your AWF debut in a Wildcard Rumble and win it. So if we go back to, can I go back in the way back time machine with you? Can we go back to 2014 and can you tell us a little bit just about that night coming out to the AWF for the first time? We were in Peoria, February 2014. Can you give us some insight as to what was going through your mind that night, debuting in the Rumble, taking it all in your very first AWF match?
Of course I can. Now, here's one thing I do want to point out. I hear you saying a lot about like short list, microscopic. I really do hope, for your sake, that these are not little jabs that you're throwing in regards to my height. All right, because I know how you are, man. I know how you Californians can be. So if these are little jabs, I'm gonna let you know right now. They need to cut it. You need to cut it right now. Start thinking of different ways to say it. Make it, how about exclusive? I'm on some exclusive list. I'm on some grand list. Something different than the whole short pun. But nonetheless, how was it debuting? How was it ruining the Rumble? Well, how do you think it was? I stepped into a territory that I had never been to. And on the very first night, I shut everybody up. See, going into it, of course, the nerves are there. I mean, am I going to do good? Are these people going to care? Am I going to be a one and done? Taking a look around, also seeing the other people that were going to be in that Rumble, some established names, other guys I had never heard of, but were massive in size, kind of had me thinking like, oh, shoot. All right. Well, hell, screw it. I'm here. Let's do the best that I can. So debuting and then winning is something that, I mean, I got a pretty good amount of confidence in myself, but even I couldn't have foretold or saw that happening. So for it to happen was just freaking amazing. And I think, regardless of what the rest of the match, the rest of the night outcome was, I think it just solidified me as in the eyes of the fans that were there, the ones that hated me and the ones that did enjoy what I did for the short time that they saw. I think it kind of solidified them like, hey, we don't know who this guy is, but I mean, welcome.
Instant impact. Yeah, definitely an instant impact. That's exactly what you mean by winning the Rumble. And if you haven't seen the clip, it's on the AWF YouTube. You can find it's all over the social. This time of year, it gets a lot of airplay. You survived that last spot and toppled out the last competitor to win. Very exciting moment. So relive it. All the socials on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that. And so that was your first one. Debut, came in with the storm, won. And again, you're on the short exclusive list. Sorry, exclusive list of debuts to win the Rumble, which is a feat that is not often replicated and has only been done so once in a decade. So moving forward,
and that's only if you're correct, because again, you got to fact check yourself.
I will fact check on the other, but you were the first. Either which way, you were the first. So, and very impressive. And you've been in many, many Rumbles over the years. Going into this one, what would you say? Not asking you to give out all your secrets, but what would you say are the key points to focus on going into a match like that, competing in a match like this? And this year we have 30 entrants in the Rumble.
30, 3-0. Me being one of them. What's the secret? What's the key? I'm not gonna give you that, Joker. Okay? Why would I give you that? Not only are you gonna know it, not only are the opponents gonna know it, but then some of the smart Mark fans are gonna learn it. And then come Rumble time, I'm gonna go out there and everybody's gonna know my secret. So no, I'm not gonna divulge what my secret is. But at the same time, I'm not that bad of a guy. So I will tell you what my strategy is. Not my secret, but my strategy. My strategy in this Rumble is to be Aydan Colt.
Sound strategy, definitely. And question that's been buzzing around the AWF fan nation. We have seen you rather in cahoots, if you will, almost a partnership of sorts. Going back to Ascension, I was there. You presented documents that somehow, I don't know how you got those into my jacket, but contracts signed from the AWF officials. You and Ulrich Reiner have been rather chummy, I guess, so to speak. The fan nation is wondering, going into the Rumble, should we expect any sort of teamwork? Obviously, there can only be one winner, but is there some sort of joint strategy or team strategy between you and Ulrich Reiner?
Well, I will say this. All right. The way that I do my workings and what I can and can't get done is between me and the higher ups that make those decisions and agree with me. So as far as the cahoots, as far as the speculation, I will go ahead and say this. A smart man is what Aydan Colt is. That's why when I tell you my strategy is to be Aydan Colt, it's going to be that of using my brain. You got to be smart in this kind of thing. And I'm smart. And my tag team partner in last event, I fancy as a very intelligent gentleman as well. So we have that in common, aside from the fact that we also love money. And we love smart business decisions. So in a Rumble, there's the notion of every man for himself. But in order to get to that final spot, you have to get rid of everybody else. So if people were as smart as, let's say, me and AR, the work is a lot easier when you have two powerhouses, two mega powers, if you will, working together until there is only the two mega powers left. So, can we expect to see us team up together and work together during the Rumble? Well, wouldn't you like to know? That's just something you and everybody else is going to have to buy a ticket for and show up for to see if that's what happens. Because I will not spill the beans. It's not a Texas thing. We don't divulge secrets.
Very honorable. And Aydan, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Just the last few questions here. For many, I've been asking this, and it's a mountaintop that they have not reached, right? And for many, it'll be one that they only dream of for their entire careers, in some cases, as we've seen. And you've been there once. So with that in mind, what would winning and being the only man to ever do so, what would winning a second AWF Wildcard Rumble mean to you?
Well, it would mean everything. All right. In plain language and vocabulary, it would mean validation, and it would bring me the satisfaction that I need. See, that long list that you went out when you introduced me was missing a key piece, and that's AWF Heavyweight Champion. Like you just mentioned, I've had one opportunity, and if I can go back, I'm pretty sure I was screwed. But I digress. One opportunity that I was given. Here in the Rumble, we know what's up for grabs. What's up for grabs is a guaranteed opportunity. So winning the Rumble is everything to me, because once I win, then I'm guaranteed my opportunity. And Watson, my God, I have to admit, I like the guy. He kind of reminds me of me. As a matter of fact, I think if you go back and look, you can find a shirt that Watson has that is very similar, if not a blatant ripoff of my very first ever Colt t-shirt. So I can suspect or surmise that Watson has watched me.
Well, it's very possible that, yeah, he may be an Aydan Colt fan. And on that topic, if you could tell AWF heavyweight champion, current AWF heavyweight champion Watson anything, because he's listening to all the Rumble entrants week in and week out here on the AWF Insider Podcasts. Aydan, if you could tell Watson anything, what would it be?
Watch the Rumble. Do what you've done since day one. Watson, watch me. So that at the very end, when the storybook is written and you lose your title to me, at the very least, you can take comfort in knowing you watched it happen. You watched what I did to get to where I needed to be to beat you.
All right. Well, Aydan, thank you so much for joining us here on the AWF Insider Podcast. I'm going to let you go. I know you're a busy man. I know you got to get back to the ranch or the cattle farm or dude ranch or whatever it is out there. And out there. And yeah, well, thank you very much. Good luck, sir, in the Wildcard Rumble. Good luck on your future matches. And thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and taking the time to join us here today.
Yes, you are very welcome for my amazing, bigger than life Texas presence.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the AWF Insider Podcast. I'm Gabriel Anders, and when we come back on the other side of the break, we have former AWF Tag Team Champion talking with us, Aydan Colt. We'll be right back. It's that time of year again, guys. Rumble season is upon us. The AWF Wildcard Rumble, Saturday, May the 27th, at the Phoenix Beer Company in Phoenix, Arizona. All your favorite AWF stars and the traditional annual 20-person over-the-top rope Wildcard Rumble match. Get your tickets at awflive.com and all of our socials. This one's bound to be another sellout. Did you know that you can bring the action of the Arizona Wrestling Federation to your fundraiser, festival, birthday party, or private event? Wrestlers like Chubby Depp, Viva Van, Brittany Brooks, Paradox, Alric Ryder, that's right, the stars of the Arizona Wrestling Federation, wherever you want them. For more information, contact us at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com or any of our social media platforms. Wrestlers subject to availability, some blackout dates apply. Contact us for details. Are you looking to become a professional wrestler? We'll train like a champion at the Arizona Wrestling Federation Academy. Learn everything you need to know to start your journey into professional wrestling. Enroll at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on the AWF Insider Podcast. I'm Gabriel Anders, and next, I had the very, very nice opportunity to sit down with former AWF Tag Team Champion, entering into his third Wildcard Rumble on Saturday, May the 27th. One half of Grit and Grace, Aydan Colt. So take a listen. Here's how it went. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gabriel Anders, and I am here today with the Ming, former AWF Tag Team Champion, AWF star, Aydan Colt himself, one half of Grit and Grace, Aydan Colt. Cole, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, Mr. Gibb. Thank you for having me.
Of course, not a problem. We thank you very much for joining the first man to be announced and approved as an entrant into the Wildcard Rumble. So very cool news for you here. And should be very interesting. This is not your first AWF Wildcard Rumble, as I think you reminded me just a couple of days ago, right?
No, sir. It's not my first. My third, to be exact. I'm not surprised with the first entry. First couple, especially my rookie year, I was in there about 30, 35 minutes. I had one heck of a performance, so I'm looking to do it one more time.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting, again, just for the fans at home, just to let you know, there will be a lottery the morning of. So with these approvals, these are not the order in which they're entering. These are the approvals into the match. There'll be a lottery Saturday morning and a drawing to determine that night's order. So we won't know. We won't know because you have not been told where you'll be entering yet, right? Ready for everything,
No.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure I've been told where I've been entering, but it doesn't matter if it's first 30. Like I said, the first time I went in there, I lasted 30, 35 minutes. So when I go in there, it's going to be 29 other men going out.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, your first was 2021, right? So there were 30 entrants in that as well. Normally there's 20, but do I have my facts right? 2021, is that correct?
2021, yes, sir.
Okay. Did you see a difference in competing with that one, which was your first, right? The 30 entrants versus last year with 20 entrants. Does it feel any different to you when you're competing?
As far as 30 and 20 goes, yeah, most definitely. Because I mean, like I said, the first time I went 30, 35 minutes, you ain't gonna go that long if it's 20 men or women or then doesn't matter. It's gonna go longer, so the longevity of it is going to affect anybody that is in there.
All right, definitely makes sense. And so with those two previous Rumble experiences, the two prior Rumble experiences that you have, what would you say, what has become your strategy in a match like this, if you will? Not asking you to divulge any trade secrets, but like what is sort of your mindset coming into your third one?
The biggest difference I noticed in the first and the second one, not the 30 and the 20, but when I was in there in the 30, it's definitely about choosing your peers. You know, the first time I was in there with Chris Evans, a man that I thought had my back, and he was gonna be there. But when it came down to it, he turned his back on me. And the second time around was a lot different. It was actually truly the beginning of grit and grace. Whenever we were able to eliminate the faction together, so just I would say choosing your peers. Definitely knowing where you're at in there.
Okay, yeah, and that's a big moment because you guys, Grit and Grace, you and Ray Black, ended up going on to win the AWF Tag Team Championships. So I don't want to upset you, so we don't have to discuss the tag team titles if you're not wanting to. Do you have any comments on that just before we move forward from that?
Well, I was most definitely hot when it happened. You know, it's with the whole thing with Reiner and Colt coming in. I get they've been here for a long time, but them just interjecting themselves into matches shouldn't have went down like that. Very happy for G-Mo and Cosmo. They earned that victory, and we gonna get those tag titles back. Ray and I've been talking about it, but first we wanted to set our mission on this Wildcard Rumble.
Okay, awesome. And will there be, because you mentioned Ray, you guys are obviously best of friends now, tag team partners. Is there any sort of team strategy? Will Grit and Grace be teaming up in the Rumble? Because it is every man for himself. But do you guys have any sort of team approach that you're taking?
It definitely is every man for himself. I know that when Ray and I are in there, we're going to give each other the best of competition. And that's all I could really ask from a tag team partner, is that when we in there, he's got my back, I got his. And when it comes down to it, we're going to get real gritty.
All right. And so there is, so with this, I don't want to take up too much of your time, Mr. Ming, if you will. But so I just wanted to ask you just a couple more questions that we've been running through. With this, so you've been into Wildcard Rumbles already. You've sort of learned the lay of the land. You had your injury early on in your career, and actually, just a quick note on that. How have you felt since coming back?
Since coming back, the injury was really tough. The injury was really tough. Whenever it hit, I got definitely with mental health, and when I came back, I wasn't feeling like the main. I thank my partner Ray for whenever he came in, he helped me get my confidence back, and since then we've been rolling with it. So I definitely thank Ray on that one.
Awesome, man. So next, just sort of last round of questions here for you, and then I'll let you get on your way. What would winning a Wildcard Rumble mean to you, Austin Cole, the main?
It would be everything in this coming year, coming back from my injury, just solidify myself in the AWF, solidify myself in Arizona wrestling. It would mean absolutely everything to me.
Okay, and then going a step further, because we know the prize for winning this year is going to be a shot at the Arizona Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship. If you were to get a shot, how do you think that would impact your career and you as a person?
A shot at the AWF Heavyweight Championship with Watson, one of the AWF greats. I mean, it would be everything. I've been in there with Watson before. And if I could get a singles match with Watson, it would mean everything to my career.
Okay, and then lastly, last question. So, if you could say anything to Watson, current AWF heavyweight champion, and he's listening to every single entrant that's coming on the show. He's been very vocal about that. So he's listening week in and week out. If you could say anything to the champion, Watson, what would it be?
Well, I'm definitely winning that Rumble. That's for sure, man. Ain't no doubt about that. But when I cash it in, I don't know. Could be that very same show. Could be in Tucson in July. But because we know AWF runs every month, so I'm gonna hold on to it, and I'm definitely gonna do what Watson does. Sit back, watch a little bit. But I'm definitely winning that Rumble, man.
All right, well, Aydan Colt, there you have it. The first man approved to enter the AWF Wildcard Rumble, just sort of sitting back and waiting and watching to see who the other 29 participants are as well as just getting ready. So good luck, good fortune to you in your training. Thank you so much for joining us here, Aydan Colt, and we appreciate it, and good luck in the Wildcard Rumble match coming up on the 27th.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Gabe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another quick break here in the AWF Insider Podcast, but when we come back on the other side, we have the newcomer who is tearing up the ranks in the Arizona Wrestling Federation. We sit down with Dolan Shaw as he gets ready for the AWF Wildcard Rumble Saturday, May the 27th at the Phoenix Beer Company. I'm Gabriel Anders. This is the AWF Insider Podcast. We'll be right back. It's that time of year again, guys. Rumble season is upon us. The AWF Wildcard Rumble, Saturday, May the 27th, at the Phoenix Beer Company in Phoenix, Arizona. All your favorite AWF stars and the traditional annual 20-person over-the-top rope Wildcard Rumble match. Get your tickets at awflive.com and all of our socials. This one's bound to be another sellout. Did you know that you can bring the action of the Arizona Wrestling Federation to your fundraiser, festival, birthday party, or private event? Wrestlers like Chubby Depp, Viva Van, Brittany Brooks, Paradox, Alric Ryder, that's right, the stars of the Arizona Wrestling Federation, wherever you want them. For more information, contact us at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com or any of our social media platforms. Wrestlers subject to availability, some blackout dates apply. Contact us for details. Are you looking to become a professional wrestler? We'll train like a champion at the Arizona Wrestling Federation Academy. Learn everything you need to know to start your journey into professional wrestling. Enroll at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on the AWF Insider Podcast. I'm Gabriel Anders, and we have one last guest for you here tonight. He is a newcomer, a youngster in his rookie year who is tearing up the Arizona Wrestling Federation right now, really making a name for herself and staking a claim as we enter the AWF Wildcard Rumble Saturday, May the 27th at the Phoenix Beer Company. Tickets are still available. Of course, reminder, front row is sold out, so get your GA 4-packs, get your GA, get your tickets any way you can right now, because this one, tickets going fast. Only a limited amount of time before the Rumble comes into town, but I digress. Without further ado, here's my interview with AWF star, future star, rising star, Dolan Shaw. All All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are here listening to the AWF Insider Podcast, and a very special guest now at this time. We have AWF star, future star, bright, shining future star, Dolan Shaw. Dolan, how are you doing here today?
I'm sore, I'm tired, but I'm here.
Well, we appreciate you being so. We won't keep you too long, but we did just want to ask you some questions as you're getting ready to enter the Wildcard Rumble coming up on May the 27th in Phoenix, Arizona. So tell the fan nation a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? When did you start getting into professional wrestling?
Well, I am a man of a long background. I've been in combat sports just about my whole life since I could stand on my own 2 feet. I did combat sports through the military. My journey started out in Augusta, Maine, as far northeast from here as you can get. Yes, to all the fan nation, especially the Arizona fan nation listening, I am a snowbird. Say it as you will. I've lived in Arizona since 2014. The heat, the snow, the cold, it doesn't bother you. You just got to get acclimated to the temperature.
Right on. Which branch were you in?
I was in the Army. I started out as 11 Bravo, so just a basic bang bang infantry, and then I ended up in armored unit in Fort Stewart, Georgia, where I drove 32-ton tanks called Bradleys and played with as many guns as your wild dreams could think of.
Right on. So you said you did combat sports through the military, like while you were enlisted. Am I understanding that right?
I continued to do what is called combatives training in the military, which is basically martial arts in the military. By the time I got out of the military with an honorable, for everyone who's listening, I was a combatives level 2. I was ranked up with some of the commanders and sergeants in my company, even though I was a fuzzy patch. I was a youngling considered in the Army. Mostly that is due to the background that I had before the Army. I've been doing different martial arts since I was like 10 years old. I have a few years in Muay Thai, a few years in Jiu-Jitsu, a few years in Krav Maga, a few other of your basics like kickboxing, boxing, judo. Just your basic martial arts that are everywhere nowadays. But for one thing is to make sure that you keep up with your training, because a lot of people will do it and then just, say it's in their back pocket. Well, training and keeping the body in shape is just like a well-oiled car. You have to keep up the maintenance or it falls apart and breaks.
Definitely makes sense. So, and anybody who's seen any of Dolan's matches, this just gave you a lot of explanation as to what we're seeing when he's in the ring. So would you say that background has kind of helped you transition into, or like now that you're in and competing in pro wrestling?
I'm definitely going to say pro wrestling is a step in a different direction when it comes to martial arts, because there's a lot more to it than martial arts. From physically being strong and healthy to emotionally and mentally being ready for the physical abuse you will take in a professional wrestling ring. It definitely takes its toll on the body, and it definitely takes its toll on the mind as well.
Okay, very cool. Well, what made you kind of take, because I know you're still in that world also and still keeping up training. And are you still competing actively, like in a lot of the different sort of styles, martial arts and fighting?
I have actually stepped back a little bit from those. I'm trying to put a lot of my effort and my focus towards professional wrestling, especially with the Arizona Wrestling Federation Academy, which is where I train. Everybody listening, I'm a AWF homeboy. That's my home. That's where it all started. Coming through there and seeing some of the people that have come in and out of there, I definitely can say that AWF is going to go on for a long time. And I hope to be a part of it for a long time, which leads me up to what's coming soon. And I'm very excited for it. I know, a lot of the fans listening probably have already heard, obviously, which is the Rumble that is coming up.
Yep, exactly. And that's exactly where I was wanting to go with it too. So what should the fan nation and the competitors that you'll be in the ring, because we're up to 30 this year. We're doing, and who knows if, AWF owner Jared or any of the other officials will, I don't think we should see an increase, but hey, there's a lot of time between now and then. 30 competitors, and it's going to be a packed house of the Phoenix Beer Company. What should they be expecting entering this match from you, Dolan Shaw?
Well, if I'm definitely going to admit, that 30 men, that's a big challenge for any superstar, male or female, big or small. That is definitely a feat to step in the ring and make it to the end and be the last person in the ring. As for me, I'll gladly step in the ring first. I did it last year. I went one-on-one with Paradox in last year's Rumble. Now that was only that Rumble that didn't quite go my way. But now, after another year of honing my craft, I do have to say that when come faced with an army, which I've done before, all it takes is one hit, one shot. It's all it takes. And in a moment's notice, you're over the top rope. So for everyone that's going to be in that ring, I hope they understand that every single person that steps in the ring has got an Abrams bullet marked on their back. And they better be ready, because Dolan Shaw is going to fight, and he is going to scratch, and he is going to claw, and he is going to try his best. And he is going to be one that might shock a lot of people.
So just a couple more quick questions here, Dolan, and then I'll get you on the way. Thank you very much for being respectful of your time. So one question I have for you, what would winning a shot, because it should be the prize this year of the Wildcard Rumble, what would winning a shot at the Arizona Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship mean to you, Dolan Shaw?
What it would mean to me? Well, let's put it into speculation here. I know people have seen me in the ring. I know I'm starting to become a slight house face that people are starting to recurringly see. But the one thing that everybody sees and that I see in the mirror is that I'm not a big guy. I'm not the tallest. I'm not the strongest. I'm not the fastest. But there's a few things that I do believe in, and that is the mentality you have to have when you get in a ring, especially facing 30 different people. And that is quite simply, you have to have the heart and the mindset, the mentality of a king, the mentality of a lion. The reason being is because a lion's not the biggest, a lion is not the fastest, it's not the strongest, but it's the simple fact of their mentality and what they do and how they see the future right in front of them and the future 30 years away. How they expect to build on their life and their families while also protecting others. Now, that mentality of a lion, that's kind of one thing that's set in me. I know I'm not going to be the biggest or the strongest, but if I was to win that belt, if I was to win the Rumble and then win that belt, now that would have to be AWF history right there. Because I would take that belt and I would hold it high and I would show everybody that you don't have to be a heavyweight to hold that belt. All you have to do is fight like a heavyweight.
Okay, and last question, Dolan. Presumably, barring, change in circumstance, AWF heavyweight champion, currently Watson, if you could say one thing to him, since I'm sure he's listening, what would it be?
Well, Mr. Watson, I've seen what you've done in the ring. I've seen some of the dirty tricks you like to play, like picking on another man to force another man into defending his championship. That's all good and dandy. We all are bad guys in our own story. We're all good guys in our own story. However you want to see yourself in your story, I can tell you how I see you. I see you at the end of an apron, and I see you down for 1, 2, 3.
All right, Dolan, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast. I appreciate it. Hope to have you on many, many more times, and good luck in the Wildcard Rumble on the 27th, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I got some training to get back to.
All right, thank you, Dolan. Appreciate it. Until next time.
No worries. Till next time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that's going to about do it here tonight on the AWF Insider Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed the show, please give us a follow on Spotify, subscribe to us on YouTube, and then remember, check us out, awflive.com, all the socials, all the ticket information, all the AWF news you can handle, and then some. So give us a follow, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, whatever you want to do. Tell your friends. Please let them know about us, to the Arizona Wrestling Federation. And lastly, do not forget to get your tickets fast for the AWF Wildcard Rumble. It is going to take place Saturday, May the 27th at the Phoenix Beer Co. in Phoenix, Arizona. You'll want to be a part of this. This is a historic match that is taking place for just the second time ever. The AWF Wildcard Rumble will feature 30 competitors. Again, I cannot say enough. Last time this happened, the ring imploded within itself. Not from the weight, just the sheer magnitude of how intense the match was. So it's going to be special reinforced. Don't have to worry about this go around, but we'll see who might be getting a title shot. So until next week, thank you so much for joining us here on the AWF Insider Podcast. I'm Gabriel Anders. We love you guys. Thank you. Until next week, good night. It's that time of year again, guys. Rumble season is upon us. The AWF Wildcard Rumble, Saturday, May the 27th at the Phoenix Beer Company in Phoenix, Arizona. All your favorite AWF stars and the traditional annual 20-person over-the-top rope Wildcard Rumble match. Get your tickets at awflive.com and all of our socials. This one's bound to be another sellout. Did you know that you can bring the action of the Arizona Wrestling Federation to your fundraiser, festival, birthday party, or private event? Wrestlers like Chubby Depp, Viva Van, Brittany Brooks, Paradox, Alric Ryder, that's right, the stars of the Arizona Wrestling Federation, wherever you want them. For more information, contact us at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com or any of our social media platforms. Wrestlers subject to availability, some blackout dates apply. Contact us for details. Are you looking to become a professional wrestler? We'll train like a champion at the Arizona Wrestling Federation Academy. Learn everything you need to know to start your journey into professional wrestling. Enroll at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com today.